Live guitar warm-up number 23. We're continuing the finger warm-up. Finger walking, I guess. Finger crawling. Kind of depends on how you want to think about it. And we're doing key of A. We're kind of in a... man, I can't even... My brain is not working yet. I'm waking up. I've been up for a bit, but I'm still waking up. So we're doing key of A. Can't remember the exact name of that one, but it'll come to me. And then we're doing some funk. Oh, we're doing 3 octaves key of A, but we're doing it in sequence of 3. So it's the 3-octave sequence of 3s that's getting me. If you guys want this sheet music or want to help support us making more videos or, more anything, if you guys need a certain song or whatnot, become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. We appreciate your support. We're just going to jump into this finger one right here where we got a couple different things going on. We got this crawling idea, right? But we also got this string skipping going on, down, up, down, or alternate picking, I should say. Alternate picking while string skipping. I know it's kind of easy for me to get lost in that space, especially like I'm more comfortable, obviously, staring down. Who isn't? But I don't know, it's good practice to not look either. All right, so I'm going to warm up on each of these ideas. We're just going to get the sixth string through the 3rd string. And 1 E, and 2 E, and 1 E, and cool. I'm just going to leave that metronome there, but we're going to go down to the 5th string through the 2nd string. So sometimes I'm just not getting as tight on that metronome as I'd like to. Same idea starting on the 4th string. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So now I really just want to work on switching between those ideas. So kind of these first 2 measures, just running through that. E and 3 E and 4 E and I got a little bit off. Randy, dude, my guy. It's been a couple days. How you been? It's funny, Randy. Randy, who I want to call you a good friend. We're not good friends yet, but we will be maybe. I reference you a lot in these chats where I'm like, Randy said to do this. Usually when I'm playing drums, doing a little guitar warm up, and I was meaning to ask you, how did that mixing go? You were mixing a friend's demo, and I was kind of like interested to just, I don't know, if you're feeling comfortable and you want to send it to me, I'd love to hear it. I meant to say that last time, and I've been thinking about it since. But yeah, I like to say jack of all, master of none. Very early on in my studio career teaching, somebody would be like, hey, my 8-year-old wants to learn piano. You teach my kid guitar. Do you want to teach piano? I was like, yeah, I can do that. Not playing piano in years. Went to college for it. I dabbled in it in college, let's say. So, working on becoming a master of a couple. Jack of all, master of none. I like this exercise though. And yeah. All right. So let's speed. Actually, let's work on this transition. I think practicing transitions are important in anything. Song, exercise, whatever you're doing. So this transition of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how does it move? Got to learn my own exercise in a minute. Actually, Nick wrote this one. Okay, so it always goes back up. I'm sure a long time ago I used to play this differently. So after you've gone to the third string or fourth string, back to the fifth string, sixth string, and then you're going to slide over just to the second fret. And then you'd work your way back up. I'm learning this in real time. Yeah, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then move on. Okay, I now know how to play it. What I'm going to do, let's just keep this metronome here going, and I'm going to try to go from the first. I'm going to work my way all the way to like the fifth, and then we're going to move on. My goal is on each three of these kind of subjects for these lives, for this warm-up live anyway, I want to spend only 10 minutes because I feel like when your warm-ups become an hour-long warm-up, you've kind of lost some of the ambition to do anything else. So what you're seeing on the screen is not going to perfectly match. And honestly, I don't feel like this is... I don't think anyone's going to be playing along with this. It's more like, hey, here's this concept, here's this idea. Now, set a metronome up and do it yourself. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and... We're going to start that one over again. Trying to just get this a little bit tighter, so just now going to obsessive mode. I feel like 50 is doable for me. Obviously, you can hear every once in a while my tempo is fluctuating. Gonna live with that. Let's go up to 56 though, and I actually want to start from the 5th fret on. I don't know. I mentioned this before. I don't love stretching it this far. It's not that big of a deal, but I want to just, I don't know, different tempo, different change up. Okay to do that. I'm in charge of practice. Same thing, if you're practicing, you're in charge. You can do what you want. As long as you're not like taking the easy way out. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and as it's getting sloppier, something I'm thinking about. Mentioned this in the first one. As I move, I really want to work on that habit of this. I don't mind it if I'm playing a strum song. I don't mind if that thumb is drifting. I know for playing fast, though, and just really having better control, I want to have that same position throughout. So just even as I was sitting there, I was trying to think about my thumb creep. So this is kind of that setting your intention of your practice. What are you trying to get out of it? Well, I hit my 10-minute mark. So it's just thinking about this. Can I clean this movement up? And then also while I'm doing that, can I play with less tension? And there's a little bit of a challenge too as the frets get smaller, you're moving up, you know. This is why I think it's important to go all the way to 12. I just don't have the patience all the time. And I do think it's hey, what's up, Mark? I do think it's like I saw Mark and I got, in a good way, I got distracted. It has been a little bit of a while, my guy. What have you been up to? Yeah, set your intention as you practice. What do you want your fingers to do? What are you trying to gain? What are your goals of this? Mine is I want to get my fingers warmed up. That's really it. So, you know, yeah, do I want to play in time? Yeah, do I want to get smoother? Do I want to do all those things? I do. But really, I mean, I could obsess about this for 45 minutes. That wouldn't be a great thing to do. So, my intention. Talking to myself most of the time, nobody else, because I'm the one who needs to learn that. I'm the one who often will spend 4 hours practicing a song to track and never track it. And then go again and practice to track it again. I'm actually in the process of doing that right now. All right. So we did the key of A. This might be a 2-octave. Or no, it's a 3-octave scale. Nice, bro. Mark is practicing Master of Puppets. Anytime you want to send me a video, Mark, send it my way. Love to see stuff. Good song, too. I need to listen to more Metallica. I listened to them as a kid growing up in my brother's old Monte Carlo, but I never really... I did not like it at the time. It was a little too heavy for me. But I think now I would enjoy it. An album that I really liked, was surprised by, is... It's Ozzy Osbourne. It's the one with Paranoid on it. But is the album titled Paranoid? I don't think so. But I was surprised. I liked Ozzy singing. The drums sound fucking amazing, and the riffs are all these heavy blues rock riffs. Okay, sequence of threes. We've done the key. Sequence of threes is a great way of putting it all together. And really, we're gonna do each one of these. So each triplet, we're gonna do that 4 times. So we're gonna do 5, 7, 9. Then we'd move on. I wasn't counting. 2, 3, 4. So actually, let me open a Logic project. I had one. Oh, that is not the right one. Open. Let's see if I can get that a minute. Only because I'm really not working off the tab, right? Yeah, no, I knew Paranoid was Ozzy Osbourne. I was just mentioning that it's Black Sabbath. That I was surprised that I liked it because it's heavier than what I usually like. I don't want getting yelled at that I didn't know any of these. I knew that one. There was some metal stuff I don't know. All right, let's go to 55 on this metronome. Yeah, let's do 55. So we're just going to start at this first sequence. I think this is the first one. Any newer metal I wouldn't know at all. My drummer that plays in my band loves metal. He'll mention all the names. I'll even confuse all the names together. But older stuff, I know some of. 55, sequence of threes. I'm only going to do this first measure and getting that down and going from there. So we got triplet. Pretty slow at 55. I do not blame you, Mark. Mark says he doesn't like any new music in general. Though, okay, so I like a little bit softer stuff than you probably like. I'm inferring. I might be wrong. But, like, also new music takes longer for me to learn how to like, if that makes any sense. So Kings of Leon just dropped 3 new tracks. And the first time I heard the first one, Mustang, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the direction. I don't like how they sound. But then I was like, well, I'll listen to it again. And then I was like, well, it's a little bit better. And then the third and the fourth and the fifth, and now I'm a little obsessed with it. So, I don't know. They venture towards, like, alternative rock, a little bit of pop. I'm more like old rock, like Petty, Beatles, I love, that kind of stuff. So I get it that new music has lost some soul. And I think it happened in the 80s with computers. We agree, Mark. So are there any newer bands that you listen to that you do like? I'm trying to think of the last, other than the Kings of Leon. Dude, Leonard Cohen, this is a little bit. It's lost it. It has lost its, I don't know, its passion. Yeah, touch is the right way to say it too. I think the moment that we can start perfecting everything, it ruins it. I mean, it's not meant to be finite and perfect and lined up close to a click as I practice with a click, but I think what I always tell everyone is, like, practice with the click, practice it perfect, and then perform it and have that heart and have that emotion. All right, this next measure. Okay, feel good about that. I don't feel like I'm holding my left arm correctly. Like, I have a lot of tension, and I'm just like that. So it's, as I get comfortable with something, I want to start thinking through, like, how do I release tension? How do I play more relaxed? I'm a little hyper today. A little bit too much caffeine. Triplet. Same thing here. Nothing is meant to be perfect at this point. We're learning it. This is a warm-up. And I really like the idea of, like, this first one, it's like very tactile. It's not very musical at all, right? I mean, very avant-garde if it was. Well, this is very musical, working through the scale and working through the correlation of how these notes kind of fit and sit together. And it's just 2 good finger exercises. But again, it's a warm-up. I was telling a student the other day, I was like, we're going to do the key of A, then we're going to do the key of D, and then we're going to just keep on going down the circle of fifths. Then what's going to happen is you're never going to get any of them perfect. You're going to spend like 2 weeks on each of them. And then when you're done at this 2 weeks of going through all the keys, you're going to start over on A. And that's when you start thinking about mastering stuff. Not right away. Like, get the idea in your hands. Try to see what, I'm going to say the same thing. Set your intention of what your practice is. You saying new music kind of sounds wrong? I just got what you're talking about. It does sound wrong. I think that's what Mark's talking about. Oh, now, do you think it's wrong just because of how you're hearing it? And I could be making a note wrong or missing a note. I do like this idea though. It almost becomes like a grounding technique. Like I'm knowing when I practice scales a lot, I notice that obviously this is dumb to say, but my solos get better. Like just jamming on the guitar gets more comfortable for me. And I feel like it has to do with understanding the correlation of the notes. I think when you run through the scale in just this very linear all the way down the neck fashion, it's not very musical. This is a more musical concept. And I think practicing arpeggios is that as well. What's funny is I get a little distracted by the chat, but the chat makes it way more fun. It becomes a more engaging practice for me because you guys call out stuff or you just chat. I don't know, practice is very solo thing, right? You're by yourself most of the time. So I'm almost out of time, so I want to quick hit this last measure, and then we'll move to funk for at least 5 minutes. Triplet, triplet. So the only tricky part there is when I have that 14, 16, 14, 14. I like to leave notes early. You know, let that ring out for its full value. Triplet, trip. I didn't there. Triplet, trip. The other thing is, every once in a while I hear myself accenting those. Triplet, triple. Gross exaggeration, but you get the idea. As you get comfortable with the scale, start noticing those things. Start pulling it back. Start playing with the tension in your hand. Start playing with the volume in your right hand, and get that balance. You can only, I feel like, you can only learn that balance going slow, and then eventually it just comes together. All right, let's do some funk. So we're doing 5 and 6. This is the chord we're using. Every time we see a slash, we're strumming. Every time we see a cross or an X, we're muting. It's kind of nice full-handed mute, if that's a term. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Same thing here. Whenever I play the actual chord, I would like to lift up a little bit earlier. I like to let my left hand control the rhythm in my right hand. Don't do that. Be confident, let him lead, and then really lock this in. So whenever I start this exercise, I like to just do metronome. 3 E and a 4 E and a. thing. We're watching our volume, trying to make all the strums the same, not put an accent on the downbeat. Lock it back in. 1 E and a 2 E and a. I lost my train of thought. Let's do 6 and then we'll speed it up. Same exact thing. Let's get our mutes going. Speed that up. Now, same thing here. I notice that when I do this, it's trying to be very like just perfect on the dot. I then go jam on a track that I'm recording. My life is so much easier. Even though I'm playing with just a metronome here, it helps your brain understand those rhythms. So then all of a sudden you're jamming with the track that I'm recording with. It's guitar and drums that I'm tracking along with. And it just makes your life easier. You've worked on a rhythm that you didn't plan on, and then you put that idea, or you put the fundamentals into a song. Let's do the next one. Feeling good about 56. So Tech Dude asked, that doesn't sound weird, my guy. Set fire to the rain. I can do that. It's going to be a couple of weeks. Our sheet music guy, John, who does all our tab work and whatnot, is pretty busy on a couple of projects for either students or other customers. But if you want to learn, I'm guessing you want to learn the acoustic picking part. Like that's the popular thing in that song, right? Or the iconic thing. But yeah, totally we'll do that. Subscribe, like, comment. But I'll put that on the list. Like I said, it'll be a couple weeks, but we'll do a good breakdown on it. If I'm remembering the song right, I feel like I've taught it before with probably some crappy tablature or sheet music. John's never written it for us. But I just finished Blackbird picking, and that might be a good next step for me. Just wait a couple weeks, my guy, and then you'll get it. But thank you. And someday somebody will request a song that I already have done. Like I have Master of Puppets. I've never learned that. Mark would have to show me how to play it. But I think we have that sheet music. So anytime we have music, like after I'm done with my set list, I always like, all right, this is the next song that we got to learn. So I'm always looking for suggestions. Can't talk today. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Thanks, Tech Dude. Appreciate you. Hear that little bit of a slowdown I have as soon as I don't play the chords? I need to have that slowdown all the time. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a. Did not happen there. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, that is my warm up for today. I could go teach some lessons. I'm going to be back later, and I'm going to do a drum. I'm working on Smells Like Teen Spirit. It's pretty awful as of now, but I think in a couple weeks I'll get it. It's just getting the basics of that song down, and some of the drumming is hard for me, but that's what's next on the docket later today. You guys have a good rest of your